to record this podcast. Do you think that this is the beginning of the podcast, or do you think this is an insert?
I feel like beginning. I feel like it's a really cool,
Okay, so
attention grabber.
We're on our way. Good morning, Marco Island.
I'm really impressed that you were able to do that after our run.
I know, right? Good morning, Marco Island. This is the Good Morning Marco podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Sullivan.
And I'm Jordan Kraley.
And we are at BRIGGS Boardwalk in Rookery Bay. Jordan, what do you think about BRIGGS so far?
So, since this is my first time being here, I will say coming at golden hour with the sun quite literally being in my face, it's really beautiful.
No, it's really cool. Wait.
It's really scenic. It's honestly definitely one of the better...
You can keep going.
Oh, definitely one of the better boardwalks that I've been to, which is cool. Hello.
Sorry, I just wanted to make my job a little bit more difficult.
We like to do that.
So, BRIGGS, I have no idea anything about the history. I'm literally only going at this of a tourism angle because I tried looking up some of its history. And in fact, I have my phone today, so because we're not doing a wide because tripod wasn't working properly. So I have a couple of things that I can read real quick about it. So let's see. Do you want to read the first thing about Rookery Bay that I sent you?
Sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was like, where's my phone? It's in my pocket. And we're going to switch hands in which I hold my phone because these nails are prettier. Didn't lose half of them in a basketball thing.
My hands are kind of screwed up right now because I spent 3 hours playing the guitar at the Bean last night. Every Friday for the month of December, come on out to the Bean Trolley Cafe. I'll be playing some tunes, some Christmas carols and such. So come on down. Anyway, go ahead, Jordan.
Okay, be a little patient with me because since I'm staring at the sun, I have a couple dots in my vision. So within the Rookery Bay Reserve, there are currently 2 trails accessible from Shell Island Road. BRIGGS Boardwalk, a half-mile boardwalk, is a self-directed nature trail passing through 5 unique habitats from scrub to brackish pond. Monument Point Trail begins at the Shell Island Road boat ramp and leads visitors to the Children's Monument on the bank of Henderson Creek. Which I believe I passed that when I went all the way down by accident.
Yeah, so Jordan, so I'll tell the story of how this episode came to be real quick. Today specifically, it has a much longer history than you think it does.
Really?
It has this episode has a very long history. My legs are kind of getting bitten up right now. That's okay. So I realized 2 or 3 days ago, it's like, we haven't done this week's episode yet, Jordan. Did next week's episode get in touch? It's like, yeah, they can't do tomorrow. I'm like, oh. So we could just record whenever, right? And you're like, what did you say?
Well, normally I can record whenever, but I had to do tour to taverns.
But also you had to go out of town in a couple days,
and I do have to go out of town in a couple days.
Yeah, so there might be a Zoom episode next week. We'll see. But hopefully not.
Try something new, but, I'm really excited for our guests for next week.
As long as we can make it materialize by next week before you leave.
Yeah.
So I'm excited too. But so then we're trying to just schedule this thing out, and then it's like, well, could you do it this time? No. Could you do it this time? No. Could you do then? No.
And then we came up with a time.
Yeah, it was 7 a.m. today at sunrise. Notice the sun's over there, not over there.
Yeah, Ryan, why is the sun setting right now?
I didn't wake up.
And I am nice and didn't spam him 24 times.
Well, yeah, because also at that point, if you would have called me at 6:30, it would have been, I had to run up, I would have gotten the cameras, and then we probably wouldn't have even been able to start until 8 at that point. Because I was planning on leaving my house by 6. But,
yeah, wow.
That's what happens when I have all the stuff. So
That is what happens.
Yeah. But anyway, do you want to know the history of prior to that, how this episode got started?
There's more? Yeah,
There is, yeah. So I don't know if you remember, but one of the first suggestions I ever had for an episode was this episode.
Correct.
In fact, this is one of the 3 episodes that we were supposed to record the day that we did the coffee. Number 7, number 1, number 4, number 2, number 6, number 5, number 3.
But then that took like half the day.
Yeah. Well, we were supposed to do that one early in the morning again. And
we're bad at
canceled
early
that.
in the morning.
Yeah, we really are. The one time we did do one like in the morning, Jolly Bridge was in the morning and Kava was in the morning. Anyway, we were late to both of those. Why we started a morning podcast, I don't know. It's because of alliteration. Good morning, Marco just sounds better.
But you just pull all-nighters.
We could start a new one. Good night, Naples. I've been thinking about that.
That'd be cool, actually. That would be so cool.
That would be cool. But
you can't publish that part or else people will steal it.
I've already trademarked it.
Slay.
Yeah. I'll cut that part out, but no, but
Let's do it.
When I first all right. First time I came to BRIGGS was about a month before we started the podcast, right? And I was coming here like almost every day for a while. And I rediscovered my love for podcasts while here. This location is directly responsible for this podcast starting, because I wanted to talk about this place and I had no reason to talk about it. Other than just like, hey, you should go to this trail. And I was like, there's so many things about like Marco and Naples, Collier County, the 239 and beyond, as it says in our description, that just are worth talking about. That I'm just like, this place in particular, like I was listening to Creepcast while doing laps around here, because I mean it's great, like listening to a spooky podcast in the woods. Ooh, goodness me. But
so you gotta use the reverb.
Oh, I barely have it on. Give me a second. Ooh, that's wait.
Ooh.
Ooh, there we go. All right. No, but so yeah, this boardwalk is responsible for the podcast.
That is amazing.
Yeah. So a little bit about this boardwalk. It's half mile. It goes through a ton of different areas. What were some of your thoughts? We'll do we want to splice in that footage now?
Maybe a little bit, maybe like hints of it.
Okay, we'll start splicing in some of that footage. So we'll just reference it as we go along.
It looks cooler.
So, Jordan, actually, you don't really know where we are, I guess.
I don't know where we are.
Okay, so I'm taking you out into the middle of the woods. I forgot to put the music in the. I didn't put the music in the last episode. We'll do all the formality. This is BRIGGS Boardwalk. We are over here. We're heading to them binoculars. So we got a
0.5 mile.
Well, it's a 0.5 mile loop. So
okay.
it's
yeah, that's not far.
It's a little bit.
It's just like a quarter.
I think this is the longer distance. Which also,
I got this big old camera.
Record the entire time.
Oh.
But you could if you wanted to.
I think definitely the coolest part was when you're like inches above the water.
Oh yeah, no, I love that so much.
It's definitely really trippy though, because I'm like, what's gonna bite my ankles?
This area right here is one of my favorites. You're basically walking on the water.
Walking on sunshine. Bubbles.
During high tide, these are completely like waterlogged. It never really goes over.
Un momento, por favor. Not on recording.
Careful, this is where them gators gonna get up.
This is right here. Like,
I was gonna say, I feel like I'm legitimately like.
Yeah, no, you're walking like it's a lot lower than usual right now.
I heard a little splash.
Careful, around this corner there was a spot that was missing a board for a little bit, so Yes, this is where I told Leslie to fix it.
It is fixed.
And this is the second place I told Leslie to fix it.
It is fixed.
So, Florida is incredibly wild, right? This ain't nothing. This is the best starter trail for anyone who's even thinking about getting into hiking. Because I mean, this isn't really a hike. It's a little nature boardwalk.
Yeah.
It's small. So we did Otter Mound, right? Otter Mound is more of like, it's where the teens are going to go to hang out at night, you know?
No.
It's like that because there's also like the connotation of, oh, it's haunted there.
Yeah.
But here, this is just a really nice tranquil area. So, by stark contrast, so this is on Shell Island Road. We're right across the street from Fiddler's Creek. If we were to go all the way down to the end here, is where the Monument Trail is.
Yeah.
You will get carried away by mosquitoes down there. Like right now.
I'm getting carried away right now.
No. Like you don't even understand. Like you would probably lose like 15 pounds like walking out of there. I'm being a little facetious, but like I was like covered in. I went out there in shorts once. I won't go out there if I'm not wearing long sleeves and like pants and like completely just drench myself in DEET because it's bad over there. Right here, this is actually the least buggy trail that I've been on in Florida so far, and this is the most I've actually been eaten up that I've ever been here.
One trail that I've always or that I used to always go on was the Bird Rookery in Naples, and it's completely different. Like they do have a little bit of what is kind of like this boardwalk, but a lot of it's just dirt, and like it touches all the water. So there's
one spot that's dirt in here for like 3 feet.
Insert video.
Oh.
Got a big old baby. Very pretty that way. Yes. Oh, very pretty that way.
This is one of my favorite places on this planet.
It looks really nice so far. First time review. Insider scoop. I hear things from that way.
There be things in here.
I don't want to be here when it's dark.
Oh, you do actually. It's very cool.
Don't we get locked in?
Yeah, but you can still get out.
Oh, slay.
Everyone gets locked out, which actually makes it even cooler at night because nobody can get in.
Oh yeah, nobody can like mess with you.
But legally, you're not supposed to be here at night, so you shouldn't.
It's just more of like sunset's this time, but you take forever to walk back, and then oh no, you're stuck.
Well, yeah, that actually has happened to me like 3 times.
Oh.
Which is why they don't actually like physically lock it from the inside. You drive up to the gate and then
Slay.
we're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. Forget how it goes. That sucks because I was in that play too. I was in both of them. I was in Wicked and I was in the Wizard of Oz.
Popular.
Like Jeff Goldblum in Wicked.
You're gonna be popular.
It's not about attitude, it's the way you view. In this life you've got to know. So let's start. We've got an awfully long way to go. Don't be offended by my frank's analysis. Think of it as personality dialysis. Become a palaces. There's nobody wiser. This is the only place in the entire boardwalk. UK.
Yes, I just had to readjust
the
it.
entire boardwalk that it's not a boardwalk. There's a bench, and they have a rope.
A rope.
They have a rope.
A rope. I would have tripped and died if I was ever gonna try to go that way. Like obviously that's there so you don't go that way, but like imagine you just like don't see it and you eat.
Also, we're coming up. Oh, be careful. There's a little divot.
But like that one is crazy because like you were saying, this one's a little more tame as far as wildlife and stuff. But the one over there, like there's literally alligators that'll just sit right next to the trail, and I kid you not, you just like have to walk right next to them.
Yeah, I've never encountered an alligator out here. The most wildlife I've ever encountered is I've seen like a sandpiper like on a on the boardwalk that flew away before I got close to it or anything. In fact, the only time I've ever run into another living person out here is I ran into a photographer, and he asked me if I'd seen any of the birds, and I'm like, dude, this is barely a birding trail. This is just a nice place to walk.
Speaking of birds, what is your favorite bird?
I don't really have a favorite bird. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't know why you're. What prompted you to ask me that? Was it that board over there?
It is the board over there.
Okay, I guess we got to show it now.
And then there's like a couple other boards, but they have different types of signs.
Oh wait, I didn't even start recording.
They have different types of signs in a couple different places. But one thing, I mean, you note that there's a brown pelican on there, yeah. But then the bottom right is a white pelican.
I don't know why. I don't know why you've never heard of that before. Because I mean, like, that's a very. I feel like it's idyllic.
I didn't know they could be albino.
But white pelicans are in Finding Nemo. Nigel's a white pelican.
But that's like in California, right?
That was in Sydney, Australia.
Oh, but the second one, Finding Dory, is in California, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. My
42
bad.
Wallaby.
I was just thinking of Finding
P. Sherman,
Dory.
42 Wallaby Way, Sydney. Anyway, back to the trail. We're not going on a tirade about how
not about movies again.
Not about how they killed all those golden retrievers for that movie.
They killed so many clownfish to record.
Okay, actually, all right, I will do a little bit of a segue. They killed so many clownfish after Finding Nemo because so many kids wanted clownfish, and clownfish are saltwater fish, and people just weren't like
doing their water right.
Well, yeah, because like saltwater tanks are so much more difficult to upkeep than freshwater tanks, and then also the amount of fish that died by being flushed down the toilet because all toilets lead to the sea is what they said in Finding Nemo. That's not true.
Imagine all the ones that got shook in the bag.
Well, I think they made it pretty clear that Darla was the villain in that movie. It's like Fishy, wake up! Like, why are you sleeping? I think they did a good job of making it be like, don't be like that kid. Don't be like her.
Don't be that.
So BRIGGS Boardwalk.
It's really here. Did you get the sunset over there?
You can go ahead. You can go ahead and get it. Just make sure you clap beforehand. Yeah. So another thing that I really like about this. So okay. While Jordan's doing that, I'll just provide a little bit of Nasagonya Babaki de Babo Sitiu. Okay, so how do you get here, right? Jordan, you got lost on the way here.
I did. So,
what?
People.
Oh, cool.
Wild.
Interesting. We might be having a conversation in a second.
That'd be cool.
So how do you get here? Just tell us that you got lost.
Basically, you go on Shell Island Road.
Okay, where is Shell Island Road? That's the main thing, because I hadn't even heard of this place until they're turning. What's that? Yeah, sure, come on over.
Friends.
What?
Friends.
Friends. What's also really cool about this is it's such a varied landscape. I mean, you think it's like, oh yeah, it'd be swamp, but there's so many other trails in Southwest Florida that suck. I don't know if you've ever been down Marsh Trail.
I've not.
I think it's in the 10,000 Islands.
I've totally heard about it though, and I've thought about going because I was like, it sounds like I need my waders.
It is a waste of time. There is about a quarter mile into the trail is the coolest part. There's a little overlook spot. But the overlook is not even that good.
You know what's crazy is that we should have just like ditched the cameras and made this the episode.
Yeah.
Got like a selfie stick.
We will lav ourselves.
Lav.
Lav mic.
Lavalier.
This is where we're going.
Going uppity. Well, this is kind of trippy to like see that you're so far up.
Huh?
To see like that you're so far up and going up on rickety boards. Kind of terrifying.
And here we go.
A lot of people write things. We have to sign Good Morning Marco.
I'm the cameraman now.
Oh, wow.
I have the camera, and now we just set up for the podcast, and we know that there's no one else here. Jordan, you have to experience the entirety of BRIGGS. I always want to call it BRIGGS Memorial Boardwalk. I have no idea who BRIGGS is.
But is it a memorial?
No. I want to call it BRIGGS Memorial, though, and I probably will call it BRIGGS Memorial at some point during this episode. Also, look at the char on the trees.
Yeah.
This is last fall, or wait, no. Back in like, I think it was, when was it? Oh, there's the covered area. Okay. They did a controlled burn back in like, they did a controlled burn like in May. I run here like a lot. I run here,
I would like to run this. I feel like it'll make me feel like Temple Run.
yeah, kind of, yeah. Oh, here's where I was talking about, where you get some of these fallen logs. See this over here?
Yeah.
I like those. And there's one right there. I'm a fan. One of these logs fell on top of here. You see that? Look at all the new wood underneath.
Oh.
And also it's cool because there's like almost never anybody here. There's only one other time that I ran into somebody while on the trail. Yes, so it's blocked off. You can't go down that. Yep, please stay on the trail. Yeah, the boardwalk, it just goes out into nowhere, but you're not supposed to go out there.
It's in case the critters want to take the trail too.
And there, that's BRIGGS Boardwalk. We're gonna have to make this a super quick episode because we're losing light. So we just ran the second half of the trail.
Woo.
The entire thing. The entire
I can't tell that during the episode I won't be able to breathe.
Joe, just in the beginning. Go. That'd be very funny. Just belagged breath, just trying to say good morning, Marco.
And then it goes.
This is Good Morning, Marco.
Good morning.
We're the only podcast, the first, best, and only podcast from Marco Island. Wow. So you come on here. Yeah. Okay. Impromptu interview time.
Yes, this is actually the most amazing experience I've ever had in my life.
This is so much fun. Okay, so my name's Ryan.
Nice to meet you.
And this.
I'm Jordan.
Jordan, nice to meet you.
And what are y'all's names?
I'm Alyssa.
I'm Andrew.
Alyssa, Andrew, so nice to meet you. I'll put the microphone right here in case you want to take over at any point. So how you said that you guys love this trail, right?
Yes.
How long have you been coming to BRIGGS Boardwalk?
I think less than a year. I've only been here a few times.
Okay,
Yeah.
very cool. Go ahead.
Yeah. So she actually introduced me to this trail. I've lived in Naples pretty much my whole life, but I've never really been down here in Marco. So this is like my second time here.
Nice.
This is amazing. It's such a great trail, such a great view.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So are y'all like avid hikers, or is this just like, oh, we just want to do like a little bit of nature? Okay, cool.
100%.
So,
Absolutely.
trails so I'm very new to hiking. This was the first trail that I ever discovered around here.
Really?
And I've done probably about like 5 or 6 in the area. What's your favorite hiking trail in Southwest Florida? Probably,
Southwest Florida?
Yeah.
Okay, I just went to Alva, which is by La Belle.
Okay, yeah.
And it's called Hickey Trail. I don't know, but they have picnicking, they have camping, they have all these different areas you can go to.
Nice.
in the area. And it's just so beautiful. They have a creek. It doesn't even look like Florida. It's it's unworldly. It's so gorgeous.
I love that the best part about Florida is when it doesn't feel exactly like Florida.
I'm like, there's a hill here.
Yeah.
It's so strange. Also, we just went there. Calum's, Bonita.
I'm not familiar.
You know.
Cullum
Okay.
Trail.
The only one like my favorite right now is Mayaka up in Sarasota.
I've never
with
been
the
there.
it's
Super cool.
Is it?
Super
you
cool.
have to take the microphone if you're going to talk.
It's super cool. Give that thing to me.
You're the expert. You should know.
Project.
No, it doesn't.
Oh.
It's a cardioid microphone.
It's like it just looks like you're mouthing things but not saying anything.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
One of my favorite preserves out here is Crew Bird Rookery. It's
Yes.
over here. Yeah, it's like on Immokalee. That place is amazing. I've been there alone like a million times, and earlier this year I was like surrounded by alligators all around me. I feel like I was getting like hunted by like a mama gator out there. It was crazy.
It's crazy because we were just talking about that. Like, we were talking about how over here, like, all the wildlife's pretty far, you know, like, it's really nice to see. But over there, I was like, you literally walk right next to them, like, closer than we all are right here.
Yes.
And I've personally, I've never seen an alligator out here. I've probably been here. So I started coming here about 6 months ago,
Okay.
probably. And because I just discovered it one day. I was in one of my kicks where it's just like, all right, I'm just gonna turn down random roads until I find
go.
something new.
Yeah.
And then I was like, where is this? And then I saw the sign out there where it's like, warning, don't bring any firearms in here or something.
Right.
And then it's covered in bullet holes.
I know.
And I'm like, where am I? This is so cool.
That's crazy that you've never seen alligators out here.
Yeah, not
Every
once.
time, like, well, not this time or the last time, but the other times I've came out here, I've seen two.
Now, is that out on like Monument Trail
Right
or like
here.
here? Really?
Right here. You know how it gets really low
Yes,
and
yes,
you're
that's
like,
my favorite part of the trail.
okay, this is a little nerve-wracking. Yeah, right there.
Maybe I just never looked close enough.
Yeah, I
Maybe
was
I've
walking
passed
with my
over.
mom.
That's what all the ripples were.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. They're mischievous and they're brave. They're super brave out here. They don't even care. They
Making
don't
me a
care.
little bit nervous now.
Yeah. Me and my mom were just walking by and we weren't really paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
And he just like pops up and sticks his head out and we're like 2 feet away from
All
each
right,
other.
I was going to say that this is like the best trail to bring your dogs on. No, because I've brought my dog out here like 4 times now.
Really?
Yeah, he's been fine because he's
Brave.
really good about staying on the trail. Because I mean, he doesn't like the water, so he's not going to run out into
Right.
it. But that's interesting. Okay,
Yes.
because I've never seen one. I've probably been here like 20,
Tread carefully.
30 times
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Wow, that's crazy.
Okay,
No
let me think.
alligators.
Let me think. Some questions about BRIGGS in particular. How did you find out about? Are you now? You said you've lived in Naples your whole life, but Alyssa and Andrew.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Ryan and Jordan. All right. So you've lived in Naples your whole life. Andrew, because they can't see who I'm pointing at. And then Alyssa, are you from like Marco, Naples? Like where are you from initially?
I am born the hospital on Immokalee Road, NCH.
Okay.
So born and raised here, whole life. Yeah, it's just.
If you don't mind my asking, how
Please.
old are you?
20.
How do I not know you? How do I not know y'all? No, because I've lived on Marco my entire life.
Really?
And I was born the NCH up in by 5th.
Wow.
And I've lived in the same house on Marco my entire life.
Wow.
That's insane.
Jordan, let's turn this into a regular interview like we did for City Council instead of just about Boardwalk. You go ahead.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee or tea?
I'm a big tea guy. I'm not a big coffee fan.
Really? What kind of tea? Are you like an Earl Grey or like just iced tea?
You know, just an iced tea. Like, I'm not really picky about it.
Nice. All right.
I'm coffee.
Coffee.
Coffee
How do you
girl.
take your coffee?
Honestly, I'm so plain. Sometimes I'll have it black or just have half and half with it. And if I'm feeling a little frisky, I'll put like brown sugar and cinnamon in it. But yeah. That's
All right,
kinda
so then here's the real question. We did an episode a few months back where we went to 7 different places on Marco that sell coffee.
Okay.
Those being McDonald's, Starbucks, Dunkin', Wake Up Marco, Ori's Bakery, Kava Culture, and then The Bean.
Okay.
where's your favorite place to go and get coffee? It doesn't have to be one of those 7, by the way.
Okay.
But what's your favorite place to go get coffee, either Marco or Naples?
Okay, I love Badass Coffee.
I do too.
So good. Love Badass Coffee. And the reason I love them is because the ice is coffee. It's not
Really?
just water.
Okay, I might have to go back to
It's
Badass.
the best thing ever.
We totally have to like go and interview them about that because I didn't know that it was.
Oh yeah,
coffee.
because when it
I didn't know that
melts,
either.
you're like, "Ugh, this coffee is just water now. But
Huh.
their ice melts and it's just more coffee. It's the best. I
Very
love
cool.
it. Yeah, and then the bean is great. I love the bean.
I was just playing at the Bean last night.
Honestly, I love the
And we,
local feel.
2 episodes ago, we interviewed Tristan from the Bean.
Really?
So yeah.
Okay,
Bean
I
is
love
very
that place.
close friends of the podcast.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, they are just on top of their game. The employees are always, it's the same employees too, which I
Yeah,
love.
yeah.
It's not
well,
like
they
a
only have like
revolving
4
door.
people.
Yeah,
So-
exactly, which is amazing.
And 3 of them are in the family.
And
they
that
only have one
local
person
feel,
outside of the family
it's-
who works there,
It's
Kira.
perfect. It's perfect.
Cool.
And then like being able to go outside and enjoy the water and sit on all the shells. It's really just
Nice.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. Yeah.
Marco or Naples, what's your favorite restaurant?
Ooh, I don't. Favorite restaurant?
This is fun. We're going to have to like post up in a park more often to just like, and just like put a sign there. It's like, do you want to be interviewed? Come by and be interviewed. This is so organic. This is great.
Okay, wait, like sit down restaurant or like quick?
I guess like sit down. Like
Okay.
probably like avoid like major chains if possible.
Right.
Yeah.
So local place.
Yeah, you keep. Brooks is good.
Brooks Burgers.
Brooks Burgers is always
I can
great.
respect that. I can
Brooks
respect
is-
that.
Love me a
Very
donut
good.
burger.
I was going to
Can't
say
even lie.
I haven't had a donut burger in a couple of years because I know. Well, no, I had to stop because I was pushing 300 pounds at one point, and I'm not saying the donut burgers were to blame, but I am saying that they did have something to do with it. They were involved.
Let's get some donut burgers.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Podcast with Brooks Burgers Donut Burger.
We should do an episode. We got to break into more like Naples episodes. Usually when we are doing the podcast and we have someone just pass by.
Sorry.
Me too. Like, I was literally just like, I have some unfinished business I need to.
Go ahead. I'm being interviewed on a podcast. Call me back later.
gonna have a soiree about
That is
this.
so
Yeah.
funny. Well, this episode literally comes out Monday morning at like 11 a.m.
She's gonna lose her mind.
That's so funny.
She loves this trail too.
That's so cool.
Contribute to her.
Well, I've been wanting to. It's okay. It was fate that I didn't wake up this morning. We were supposed to do this at sunrise.
Really?
Yeah. So-
I am an advent believer, and everything happens for a reason.
Absolutely. There's no
and
such thing as coincidences.
I know.
Cool. All right. So what was I saying? Sometimes we are out and about because we do almost all of our episodes outside.
Yeah.
Very rare that we do an indoor episode. So when one time we were recording an episode about a plot of land by the cemetery that they're planning on turning into a plaza with a restaurant and a drive-through, and we were kind of like saying, it's like, oh, should we be doing that?
Right.
And we were against it at first, and then we noticed that there's a guy in a BMW just like staring at us from across the street at 7-Eleven, and we're
Okay.
like, oh, what's going on over here? What's happening over here? And like you can watch the episode. We're like slowly like getting nervous and just like looking at each other.
Yeah,
and
you're,
there's like
like,
one point.
clutching
Yeah,
your
there's
stuff.
one point where Jordan just goes, I got lost because he was looking at us. Lo and behold, it was the property owner.
Okay.
And it's just
I'm like, please leave, please leave.
I wish that he would have had time because we would have like literally brought him onto the podcast so
And
that
been
he
like-
could explain. Well, because then he said he was going to come on, and it's like, oh, I'll get your. I gave him my phone number. It's like, okay, call me. We'll do a Zoom interview next week, and then you can explain your side of the story. Because he basically explained it to us right there, real quick, and then we're just like, okay, I see his side and everything. But long story.
We had changed our minds about what we were initially thinking on it too.
Yeah, but so most of the time it's very nerve-wracking when we're out in about and like have all this stuff here and people are like, what are you doing? Remember the guy who was fishing during the Jolly Bridge episode? That he just walked like this close to us? He's like,
you never know what you're gonna encounter too, and are you prepared? Like, if somebody's coming, you never know what their intentions are. Like, are you out here to hike, or are you just coming out here to mess around with other civilians? So it's very
Yeah, we were talking about how, like, out here, especially that one, like, low point, we were like, there could be a couple bodies in here. Like, you never know. Like, what if somebody's just coming out here to be like,
all
"Who's
this
out
land,
here?"
and you're gonna tell me people don't dump out
Oh,
here? Are you kidding me?
Absolutely. Okay, so I was really into over the summer. I was really into paddleboarding and hiking and everything. That's how I discovered this place. And then I was out paddleboarding probably over where not the Jolly Bridge, but the like closest bridge like on the other side of Hammock Bay is, and I was going around and I got lost in the middle of those like rivers there. I didn't tell you about this one.
He's like, I don't want to know. I don't know.
I got lost in the middle of the rivers, and then I got chased by an alligator. Yeah, I was fine though. I lived.
Crazy.
And that was only the second most dangerous time I was ever out there. That has nothing.
What's the first?
Watch our episode on the Jolly Bridge where I explain how I got caught in the middle of the bay by the Jolly Bridge during a hurricane.
Wow.
Notice how he can summarize it like that, but the episode is like an additional 20 minutes long because of
Long
the whole
story
story.
short, you know.
Because I said, go listen to me tell the story elsewhere instead of wasting this time. I can't even see how much time we've used on the podcast.
Sorry, we are totally.
No,
Go
you're
listen.
good.
Yeah.
No, you're good because I actually it's oh no, it's
This
still
is sweet.
going.
I can't wait to listen to this later.
I know.
Does it
this is
say
gonna be
that we've been
so
going
awesome.
for?
This is a
okay, we're
monumental
33
time
minutes in.
my
That's
life.
perfect. Okay,
Fantastic,
cool.
really.
No, because actually, I was kind of wondering. It's like, what are we going to talk about on this whole? Getting a little bit of wind gust there. What are we
going to be like?
Yeah, it's actually not that bad, believe it or not. I was like,
that's
what are we going to talk about on this episode? Because there's only so much. It's like, yeah, there's a nature trail here. What do you think, Jordan?
It's a nature trail.
Yeah, and then I
Yes.
was like, okay, this will be a 4-minute episode.
They want to redo this.
Really?
Because it's not.
So it's a little old.
I can tell.
Yeah, she's been through a lot.
Yeah.
If you couldn't tell, whenever you walk around, you know, you feel that wood creak under your feet. It doesn't really feel too stable. But basically, they want to make it more.
Cut to Jordan feeling like she's about to fall through the board earlier.
Basically, they want to make it more ADA like accessible.
Oh, okay.
So they
That
want
makes
to
sense.
basically just tear it down, like tear it a new one.
Completely tearing it down. I'm completely tearing it down. I'm kind of against.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's. Do you have any idea when this place was built?
Honestly, it was volunteer made, so
Really?
they didn't really pay a bunch of people to come here and construct this
That's so
place.
cool.
So it kind of was just built over time.
Because I know it was initially like owned by the Conservancy,
Right.
and then it moved from the Conservancy to Rookery Bay.
Yes.
Which for me is really lucky because I have a close friend who works maintenance at Rookery.
Really?
So I will
That's
be running
awesome.
out here in the morning, and I don't know if you noticed a few months back there was like a few missing boards over there for like a week. There was a few missing boards, and then I was like. And then my friend Wesley started working at Rookery Bay, and I'm like, "Fix the boardwalk."
Please
and he's like,
fix
"Got
them.
it." And then like the next day, it was fixed.
That's awesome.
So,
Yeah.
I feel like we are just about out of time for
That's
this episode.
totally
But this is
fine.
oh my
Awesome.
goodness, this is so
Thank
much
you.
fun. I was like, something's gonna have to come up that will have to take up the amount of time that we want this episode to be.
You called us here. You called us here.
We were destined to be here.
Let's see. Wait, you look like you want to say something.
Oh, I was going to say, you guys might have to join us if we ever do like a badass episode.
Are you kidding? I would love to. My client, Ardell McKenna, awesome man. He is the owner of the one on 3rd. So
Nice.
That would be the one that I would want to go to.
yeah,
because
if
I love that
you
one. That's the
wanna
only one I go. Okay.
interview him, or
Cool.
Yeah. Or wait, is it on 3rd or is it Gulf Shore?
3rd Street.
3rd. I can't remember.
There's 3rd Street.
And then
It's-
what's the other one? It's on
I'm
by
gonna
the
be
first
100% honest. I
watch.
didn't know that there was a second one.
There's two. There's two. There's
Okay,
two.
cool. 'Cause
Okay,
I've
not
only been to
third,
the one on 3rd
not
Street.
3rd, sorry.
Okay.
I lied.
Got it.
I lied.
So, with that, do y'all have anything that you want to shout out?
Shout out.
Yeah.
Oh my
anything-
God, that's
yeah.
a lot of pressure.
Well, if you have a business or if you have just social media that you want to say or any projects that you got or anything like that.
Not necessarily projects. I do own pet sitting business. Paws at Home. Super awesome.
And you can plug the social media if you'd like.
Okay,
as well.
Paws at Home with 2 S's.
Cool.
That's it.
I would like to shout out my best friend's band, Mingo Drive. They just had a concert last night. It was amazing.
Was it at the Soundgarden?
It was at the Soundgarden, yes.
Is Wesley Hertgers the bass player?
No, that is Andy Romero, the bass player.
Okay. There was a different band that the guy who works the that we were just talking about. He was also at the Soundgarden last night. His
Really?
band was there. Yeah, that's
What's
so funny.
his band?
I don't know. They just formed like a few weeks ago.
Oh, really? Oh, dude.
I was supposed to go, but I had a gig last night,
yeah,
so I wasn't
I
able
think
to.
they were the last set.
Okay,
They're
okay.
after Mingo. But I would like to shout out Mingo. I have a tattoo, Mingo Drive tattoo.
Nice.
Number one fan till the day I die. And they're going to make great music. They
That's
make
so
great music
cool.
currently.
That's so cool.
Thank
Jordan,
you.
where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at JGKraley03. You can also find me anywhere that you can find Good Morning Marco. I would also like to say that I do have a couple projects coming up. For starters, on January 11th, there's going to be a charity event that I'm doing in honor of my mother's passing. It's for dementia awareness. So
Condolences
it's gonna
to
be
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
It's going to be over at Veterans Park, so there's going to be the Bean, there's going to be Kava Culture, there's going to be a bunch of informative booths. It's going to be a really good time. Music, Jonathan Barr and Charlie Pace are going to perform. It's going to be awesome. And I'm also getting my LLC for my content creation business. Yes, I just submitted all that, so.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's I didn't know that you got
That's amazing.
got that. So yeah.
Quick question, really quick. Are you looking for any performers for your event? As far as like entertainers, not like paid. I'm just asking if you're looking for like extra entertainment.
I could. I mean, if you just want to like send me some of the socials, that'd be good.
I do aerialists performing.
Oh, that would be
and,
awesome.
Yeah, like I have like a lyra and a hoop and I spin on it. It's like a like
like
circus stuff. Yeah.
I would love that. That would
Yeah.
be super cool.
So we can totally get together. It would be like a volunteer thing. It wouldn't be like,
Oh,
you know,
thank you.
you have to pay me or
That'd be
anything.
awesome.
It's pretty sweet.
Sometimes instead of working in mysterious ways, the Lord works in very straightforward ways.
Yes, right. Thank you so much.
It's incredible. So Alyssa and Andrew, thank you both so much for just stopping your walk.
Find you.
What? Okay, I'll do it. Well, I was going to pitch that afterwards.
Oh, I thought you forgot.
No, I didn't. I wasn't going to forget about shouting my own self out. There's a reason I created this podcast with you, Jordan.
Sorry.
All right. You can find me at Real Ryan Sullivan on Instagram. You can also find me on my website, www.ryanmsullivan.com. You can find my events page there. You can find my music there. You can find also this podcast, the Pickle Jar Podcast, and anything else that I might happen to be working on in the not too distant future, because there might be a third podcast coming out at some point. Because Cassie has some ideas. My sister has ideas. She wants to do a history podcast because she knows nothing about history, and she wants basically me to explain to her history for an hour. And then
the best thing ever.
And it's gonna be like, it'll be like what is it? It'll be like any like standard like comedy podcast meets like Tana Mojo.
Okay.
Because she's like a huge like Tana like fan, so it'll be that. Anyway,
Yeah.
maybe we'll see if that happens. It'll materialize at some point.
Like drunk history.
Kinda, but I'll be sober and she'll probably be high.
Yeah, right.
That's how it's
Yeah,
it needs to be.
Like,
And I'm just like, okay, so the CIA killed Martin Luther King. Here's how I can explain it. Anyway, so that'll be that. And with that, thank you so much for watching. It really does mean the most, and we will see you all in the next one.
We'll be best friends forever.
Bye.